Hello YouTube! It has been a while since I've done a video, so I've decided to make a comeback today. How have you guys been doing? Let me know down in the comments. I know it's been like a super long time, so I'm gonna try and build up my base and apologize for being away for so long. I've actually been super busy. As you guys know, I am a teacher, so I've been super busy with the kids, and it's kind of been a difficult year for many reasons with the students and with the workload. So unfortunately during the Christmas break I decided to take some time off for myself, and I didn't really have any time to make a video, but recently I have a lot of things to talk about, and this video today is about one of those things that I really want to talk about. Anyway, I'm sure you guys are super curious, like, what has made Laura come out of her little emo cave where she's been hiding for 7 months to talk to us again, and the answer is Beauty and the Beast. And you guys are probably wondering, well, why is she gonna talk about the Beauty and the Beast movie? I thought she was like a booktuber, she was into books, and that is correct, but so as many of you know, Beauty and the Beast is actually a fairy tale, a story. So I thought, why not? Why not talk about Beauty and the Beast, since there's this new movie coming out, and I am a Disney fan, like a bunch of you know, and it has Emma Watson in it. So I like Harry Potter a lot. There's a lot of related things going on here, so I thought, why not give my review? Plus, I have a lot of things to say about this movie, and writing them wasn't enough. So now that I've seen it twice, I think I feel prepared enough to give you guys like a mini review and tell you what I didn't like about this movie, because you know, that's always the controversial aspect. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so Beauty and the Beast, to my knowledge, is the first movie that I actually ever saw in a movie theater, and I was very, very young. I was born in '89, so I was very, very young, and I remember distinctly my sister taking me to see this movie at an old movie theater we used to have at our mall that is no longer there. So I have very vivid memories of going to the movie theater for the first time and watching Beauty and the Beast. So clearly it's stuck in my head. It's a favorite of mine. Also, I've always said Belle is my second favorite Disney princess. My favorite Disney princess is Ariel, because her movie came out the year I was born, and I was like super into mermaids, and if you look at pictures of my first birthday, it was Little Mermaid themed, so definitely my favorite princess. But Belle is like a close second, and sometimes they kind of battle it out, because Belle is a lot like me, you know, she's the reader, she's into literature, she's kind of independent, headstrong, and clearly very focused on education, which I am as well. So definitely Belle is my second favorite Disney princess, and sometimes she's my first when I'm particularly feeling up to it. So obviously when they announced they were making a Beauty and the Beast movie, I was quite excited. Not so much because it was a remake, but because I'm always curious about how Disney films will look in live action format, and that's kind of the formula that's been playing off. I liked Jungle Book a lot. I thought it expanded on an animated movie that I didn't really like. Cinderella I really, really liked. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked that they fleshed out the story, that they did more with it, that they added stuff into it, that it wasn't, you know, just a Disney musical, it was just more of the fairy tale, and that was great. Plus she had like a gorgeous gown in that movie. Like, that dress is gorgeous. So I really enjoyed that one. But I have to say that Beauty and the Beast was kind of a letdown. Now let me get into it. I had seen it coming. And the first negative thing that I saw about it, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate on me for it, but it's how I feel, and I've always felt that way. I don't particularly like Emma Watson. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. Not as a person per se, I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I don't know, I've never met her personally. But I feel like a lot of people say she's an amazing actress and she's amazing this and amazing that, and haven't seen her in a role where I say like, wow, you know, that's cool. Like, you know, Dan from the original trio, Dan has like his plays and he has his films, and Rupert's kind of the funny guy, and Emma Watson's just kind of like the girl that moves her eyebrows in a weird way. That's how I feel about her. So I'm very surprised that a lot of people sometimes criticize Kristen Stewart, and then I don't think Emma Watson is that much better, to be honest. Oops. So yeah, that was a letdown, knowing that she was cast, and also knowing that, as far as I knew, she's not a singer of any kind. And that killed this movie for me. Like, her voice in this movie is so auto-tuned, it was grating on my ears. And it's particularly bad because most of the rest of the cast can sing. Definitely Luke Evans as Gaston is a fantastic singer, and I recently learned he was actually, you know, in a lot of musicals, which I did not know. So I was like really surprised by that. Even Dan Stevens with his heavily mechanical voice, because obviously he can't go that deep for Beast. He has like a fantastic song at the end of this movie, and his voice didn't sound as auto-tuned as Emma Watson's, and she's not even a creature, she's a real person. And that just really bothered me, because that's the first song you hear is Belle, and you hear her voice, and it kind of took me out of it. It took me out of the mood that the prologue had put me into. So that sucked, and I think my main grip with it is I wouldn't have minded if she was the actress and somebody just had dubbed her voice. I think it would have been much better, and I don't know why they didn't do that. Like, I don't know why. It's been done like a million times before. Why couldn't they do that? They didn't need to cast a whole new person. They just needed someone to dub her voice, because she obviously could not sing these songs properly. She was kind of talking her way through it, and she could never really hit those high notes, and that's when that auto-tune would like really pick up, and it was frustrating, to say the least. Okay, so apart from Emma Watson, I had a couple of more issues with the film. The new songs were strange. They were strangely placed, and they were weird. Like, the only song I really liked was the Beast song, Evermore. I thought it was a great song, but the rest of them are kind of like, okay, but why couldn't you just use the musical songs, which are much better, and you didn't need to like hire someone to write new songs for this film. I just didn't get that. And it was kind of disappointing because there's like this instrumental of Home, which is a song from the musical, playing throughout the film, but it never, like, Emma Watson never sings this song. I suppose probably because she can't sing it. It's a very difficult song to sing, but yeah, it was kind of frustrating. Another thing I didn't particularly like was the prologue. It was strange. Not that it was a good idea that they grew the Beast up into a man instead of having him turn when he was a little kid, but it would have been better, well done, better acted. It was strange. The atmosphere was strange. There was that weird song happening at the beginning that I didn't quite understand why it needed to be there and not just like an instrumental. It was just odd, and it didn't allow me to fully get into it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the Enchantress in this. I think they could have done so many things with her, and she was kind of bland. What else? The inanimate objects looked weird when they were moving. It was kind of like the uncanny valley, where you know these things are gonna come to life eventually, and when they do, it's kind of creepy. It was kind of scary. Like, Lumiere and Cogsworth were slightly terrifying, and so was Mrs. Potts. I think the only ones that looked okay were the coat hanger and Chip. Chip looked pretty cute, and the dog Footstool, because he didn't really have any eyes or anything like that. The wardrobe was terrifying, and the piano reminded me of that organ from the Beauty and the Beast sequel, the Christmas one, so that wasn't pleasant, because that was a creepy organ. So, I don't know, I don't think there was any way to get around that though. I think inanimate objects look good in animation, but in live action they're always going to be in that uncanny valley of creepiness. So, yeah. Though I think the Baroque aspect of all these household objects kind of made them look even stranger, as opposed to the original where they were like, you know, colorful and not as fancy, I guess. Which leads me to another thought I had throughout the film, like, did anyone get like Louis XIV vibes from the Beast's character? Because that's what I was getting. He was like opulent, you know, spends lots of money, and his father is like very not nice with him, but he loves his mom. So I got those vibes. I don't know if anyone else did, so if you're really into French history like I am, tell me, did you get Louis XIV vibes from the prince? Because I certainly did. However, not all hope is lost. I really did like some things about this movie. First and foremost, the Beast. The CG wasn't great at times, but I feel like I connected more with the Beast character in the live action than I ever did in the animated film. And I really liked the expressions on his face and his gestures. It was very nice. I feel like he and Belle definitely connected more through their love of reading, so that was a plus, because in the original movie it was kind of like, where did this come from, you know? He didn't really do that much. But here you see a little bit more. Not that much, but a little bit more. I liked the things that they did with Belle in the beginning, with her teaching the kids to read, her inventing things. That was great, even though it kind of went nowhere in the end. Would have liked to see more of that. Loved Luke Evans as Gaston. I think he was like perfect casting choice, and he has an amazing singing voice. I was so surprised when he started singing. LeFou, Gad as LeFou, he was fantastic. His voice was also a little auto-tuned, but it didn't bother me as much because it wasn't as heavy. And I really like, you know, he was this controversial gay character, you know. It's like a minimal thing. Like, I'm sure the majority of kids didn't even notice this. But I thought it was well done. Wasn't cheesy or anything. I don't want to give away that moment, but it was really well done. And I felt happy for him at the end. I felt happy that he found someone and that it wasn't Gaston, because he's a douchebag. And the audience was also very happy. They were really clapping during that part and cheering, so that was good to hear. A gem of this movie that I did not expect was Kevin Kline as Maurice. Who knew? He was so good. I didn't know he could even sing. He sang better than Emma Watson, and he had like one song. That's all I have to say about that. He was so good, and I liked his connection with Belle. I felt it. I felt it even more than I did in the original. I didn't really feel that connection of Belle and her dad in the original as much as I did here. So that was great. And one thing I have to say I really hated since I saw the promotional pictures is Belle's dress. It kind of looks like a cheesy yellow prom dress to me. And after Cinderella had such an amazing dress in that live action, this one kind of fell flat on its face. I wish they would have either stuck to the original more, or they would have done something completely different. But this was kind of like stuck in the middle, and it was just not pretty. It was ugly. It was an ugly dress. I wouldn't wear that dress. I'd rather wear the curtain draped one from the original. It's whatever. I don't know. But it was only that dress, because the rest of the costume designing was fantastic. And actually the dress Belle wears at the end is gorgeous. I wish she would have worn that to the ball. It was gorgeous. So there you go, you have my 2 cents on this classic Beauty and the Beast. Don't let my opinion deter you though. Please go out to the theaters and check it out to get your own opinion. I always encourage you to do that. But those are just my 2 cents. In the end, I really did enjoy the film. I wouldn't have watched it twice if I hadn't. But there are some aspects of it that really irked me the wrong way, and I just wanted to discuss them. Now, speaking of films that irked me the wrong way in some aspects, I am going to be talking about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them next. But I've only seen it once, so I'm gonna rewatch it and refresh my memory about it, and then I'm going to express my feelings to you guys about it. So be sure to check out that video sometime next week. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down there. Give me book recommendations, give me movie recommendations, give me whatever you want. I am reading some novels for my students right now because we're discussing novels soon. And some of them I haven't read before, so I'm going to be doing discussion videos of those, especially Catcher in the Rye, which I've never read before, and I'm really enjoying. So I will see you guys very soon.